Kelly here. If you don't know who she is the founder of Spray Tan Class. She's also the creator of Obsidian, just a very well-known name in our industry and just always paving the way. But I'm really excited to have her on here tonight. She's going to talk about video marketing. She's going to crush it, and I am excited to hear. So I'm going to give the floor up to her, and then we'll just save questions for the end, if that works.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much for having me, Audrey. Are you at your salon right now? Where are you at?
No, I'm at home.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So I met Audrey, it was 2020, COVID happened, and things just aligned for both of us. And she basically took over Slay Beauty Bar, but renamed it. And it's now her business, which is so great. I still need to stop by and see you, by the way. I always like drive by when I'm in town just to kind of scope out the space. But and ever since then, we've collaborated. We've done a ton of things together. So I'm really honored to be here today. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk about video marketing and all of the things. So I do see that it's being recorded, which is great, but take notes just in case, because there are some valuable pieces of information on here. So I see some familiar faces. Hello, Christy. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Marissa. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. I want to know where you guys are right now when it comes to video marketing. Are you guys like, let's say from 0 to 5, 0 being you have like no experience doing this, and 5 being like you are a pro at video marketing? Where would you say that you're at? If you guys want to pop up the chat and just let me know there. 0 to 5. Okay, cool. So we got Audrey at 4, Lisa 0, Jennifer 0, 2, Chrissy says, hi, Chrissy, Marissa 0, Trista 1. Okay. So how many of you guys would actually like to become a pro at this? Like, do you guys see the value in video marketing in general, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook? Lindsay says, no clue, to be honest. Girl, trust me, I've been there. It's all good. I'm going to be able to teach you guys today kind of like the basics. So it's really, really good that a lot of you guys don't really have that much experience, because it can be really difficult when we get into like the nitty gritty of things. So I'm going to make it super simple for you guys to be able to at least take one step closer to making that reel or going on live or doing something on YouTube, because it is so incredibly important for you guys to get on video, whether it's you, like your face, or whether it's you creating content with other models and things like that. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick and make sure you guys can see it. So I can see some of you guys on video. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see the video marketing for beauty business babes on here? You guys are good? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this away. Let's start the presentation. If you guys have any questions during this time, write it in the chat and I will get back to it at the end, or you can just wait until the very end and then we'll do like a Q&A. But I'm going to try not to talk too much. I'm just going to try to be as efficient as possible because I have a little bit of ADD, so I get all over the place. But I really, really want to share this with you because it's so damn important. And it is really what has catapulted my business to where it's at today. So if you guys don't know me, hello, my name is Kelly Callaghan. I'm a licensed esthetician here in California. I'm also the founder of Spray Tan Class and the owner of X-Tan Sunless. I host a podcast called Beauty Business Babes and the live event called Slay the Spray. So I probably have seen you guys in person, or at least some of you guys, or you guys have purchased X-Tan Sunless or have taken one of our courses. And if you have, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you guys. And I will ask if you have found me in some way, like if you've heard of me before this right here, Glow Gang, I am curious to know how you heard of me. Do you remember if it was like a YouTube video? Was it on Instagram? Was it on Facebook? What social media platform did you initially find me on? If I were to ask this in our Beauty Business Babes Facebook group, I would almost guarantee that most people that are brand new probably found me through YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. So YouTube has been my #1 platform to get new clients and new eyes on my business. which has been really, really great because it's so underutilized, especially in our industry. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Lindsay says, no clue, to be honest. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't remember half the stuff either. Like, how did I find that person? I have no idea. So we got YouTube, Secrets of Estheticians. Cool. I love that. Podcast and Facebook group. Okay, cool. So I am what I like to call omnipresent, and that is all over the place. If you Google Kelly Callaghan, there's like a psychic, which is not me, by the way. And then there's the Sunless artist, which is me. So a lot of the people that I come across that have found me, whether they come to my live events or if they take a course or even through Xtan Sunless, have found me through video content. So today we're going to talk about why you need to be on video like yesterday, where you can post your video marketing content, how to get over mindset blocks and fears, because I'm sure that's one that a lot of you guys can resonate with, what tools you can use for video marketing, and what video marketing content you can create to make it super easy. So from all of the ladies who are in here right now, which I see 18, how many of you guys use video marketing for your business today? So video marketing, meaning like Reels, Instagram Lives, any type of motion picture within your business, whether that's even a video on your website. Yes or no in the chat. Lex says very little. Audrey does. Yes, I see you. I see you, girl. Yes, but not consistently. Yes. Very little. Yes. Okay. So for those of you guys who don't do it or do it very little, is there a reason why you guys don't do it? Is there like a fear, or is there something that you want to overcome? Because I want to be able to answer your question, like your biggest hurdle today. Lindsay says anxiety for sure. Yes, I can resonate with that. I had mad social anxiety when I was in my 20s. I masked it with partying and drinking. And it was very unhealthy, right? And so as soon as I figured out like, oh, wow, I have this thing, and I started getting, making healthier decisions, it took a lot of like personal growth in order to get over that. But I feel like once you just do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. Because how did I go from like social anxiety to hosting events of like hundreds of people, right? So it's very interesting how that happens. Lex says, I don't know how to put the video together in an attractive manner. I think that's another big issue for people. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Unfortunately, I don't have so much time, but we will dive into that a little bit. Trying to become stronger in it, content struggle, and perfecting reels to not look so amateur. And you know what, Athena, what I would say too is like, don't worry about looking perfect. If you look at some of my old videos, which are still up on YouTube, I look like an amateur, but those videos have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm not over exaggerating when I say that number. So you have to also let go of that perfectionism, because a lot of the times that's what's stunting our growth. Lex says, I don't mind being on video, but the editing part and transitions is what you're not confident in. Yes. Fear and time. I don't know how to put it all together in an attractive manner. Anxiety is huge. Yes, girls, I totally understand every single one of those for sure. So what it comes down to is really practicing. It's doing it. It's taking action and actually getting the practice in through making those mistakes and learning how to flow through those transitions on Instagram Reels, for example. So what I would like you guys to take from this today is the understanding of how important video marketing is, not only today, but going forward in your business. So what I like to say is that my vision is always stronger than my fear. So if you have these mindset blocks of not wanting to do it because you have anxiety, or maybe like you're not seeing the full picture or whatever, I want you to know that it is more important for you to grow your business and for fresh eyes to see your content than it is to be stuck in that fearful mode. So if there's any way that you can become an observer of your thoughts and actually shift that to, what if this reel goes viral, right? Or what if this reel brings in 10 more clients, or whatever the case may be. And I think a lot of people struggle with what type of content to make. So once you have clarity on that, you can actually make really, really easy reels. And I think that's always like the best way to start, right? It's like doing something really small, like reels, or maybe even getting on IG stories. So 72% of customers said that they would rather learn about a product or a service by way of video. Video has been and will continue to be the rising force when it comes to marketing in general, right? Especially like online marketing, obviously. So I want you guys to feel empowered to be able to create content that is going to be beneficial and valuable for your audience. So really quick, what video marketing is basically any type of motion picture used to market your business. One thing that comes to mind is creating maybe like, I don't know, a Mojo video on an app or something like that, where it's like still photos, right? So say, for example, you have like before and after photo of a client that you really, really love. You can have the app morph it from beginner or from before to after. I actually have a contouring video that looks like this, but it's really not a video. It's actually just a still photo that goes from the before picture to the after photo, but it is a motion picture. So that is still considered video marketing. So if you wanted to start small, you can start with something like that. An example of video marketing would be, Instagram Reels, Facebook Lives, YouTube videos on your website, and TikTok. A couple of places that I've been able to market via video has been Instagram Reels, Facebook groups. YouTube has been my number one place where people are able to find me when it comes to like brand new clients. And this is something that I share with the women that I mentor too. So even if you are, say, for example, like in the middle of Kansas, right? And you don't have a lot of competition, or maybe you're just not hitting your SEO on your website, like you're not on the first page of Google, or whatever the case may be. You could be in any city, literally. A lot of the times your competitors are not on YouTube. Like it's a very, very overlooked form of marketing. So if you can get in touch with like a videographer, or even a friend who is like decent, at videos and like tech savvy or whatever, have them and have like yourself get some models involved and create a cute little like 1 minute, maybe even 30-second teaser of what your business is about. If you're a mobile artist, maybe go ahead and pop up your tent and show what that looks like. Show them your office behind the scenes and do an introduction of what mobile spray tanning is, or the benefits of spray tanning. The reason why I love doing something like this super simple is because it gets you out of your comfort zone, and it also allows you to work with other people that can help you overcome any fears or anxieties that come with like video marketing, right? Once you're done with this video, even if it's the only video that you ever post on YouTube, post it on YouTube, okay? Post it on YouTube, and on the title, put best spray tanning in, and then enter your city name. This here was really the key to a lot of my success when it comes to people finding me for training, people finding me for my salon at Slay Beauty Bar when I had it in San Diego. And we're going to continue working on this at my new salon here in Temecula as well. So if you guys do one action item throughout this whole entire thing, if you take one thing, do that and start there. See how that feels for you, and you might love it, and you might end up, creating your own YouTube channel and like continuing to be consistent with it. And worst case scenario, maybe that's not the case, but at least you have this beautiful video of yourself introducing your business to an audience of people who would have never seen you had you not done that video. And the important piece to this is making sure that they're keywords that are on your title. So the way that I do this, whenever I'm creating a video, I think, what is my ideal client asking? Like, what are they asking Google? And one of the things that comes up for me is, what is the best spray tanning in Temecula? So you don't have to type out that whole entire thing, but best spray tanning in Temecula, for example, would be a great start. Another place that I use is TikTok, which has been pretty good. It's been decent. It hasn't brought me a ton of clients, but we definitely have a lot of reach on there. And then finally on our website, we have professional videos created for our website as well. So just to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes look at how YouTube has affected my business. This is what I call the secret sauce. And I think it's because there's not too many people that do this. So when I first started doing this, I don't know, like 7, 8 years ago, there was nobody that was a personal brand in the sunless industry that was doing this. So what I decided to do was start this YouTube channel, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing, you guys. It's like the story of my life. I never know what I'm doing. I just do it and I hope for the best. And that's kind of what happened here. So as you can see, this is actually something I pulled up today. In the last 28 days, my channel, Spray Tan Class, got 23,806 views. That is a ton of views, you guys. That is so many people and so many eyes on my business. I actually don't really look at my analytics. I should, but it was really shocking to me to see these numbers today. So I was really, really happy. I would love to get those subscribers up, because out of all of these views, while some of them are subscribers, a lot of them are not subscribers. So I would love to get our subscribers up. Right now, we have a little over 7,000 total. But as you can see, like the watch time, if you guys are wondering, does YouTube make you money? No, it doesn't. This is like my estimated revenue from YouTube itself, just for having all of that. So my money doesn't come directly from YouTube, it comes indirectly. So what I do there is I answer people's frequently asked questions when it comes to spray tan training. So for example, what is the best spray tan training, or can I learn how to spray tan online? Things like that. TikTok is another part that I was actually a little bit pretty shocked at and surprised. When I first started YouTube or TikTok in 2020, we had a couple of videos go viral. This one was the latest video, and this is done the best probably out of all of them. We got 1.5 million views here, and TikTok's a little weird though, because you can't really, like, sometimes they'll flag your post if they see nudity or something like that. So it's a little hit or miss. And like I said earlier, I don't really use TikTok so much as a direct sales way, like to get business, and I haven't really got too many clients off of it. But what I have done is on TikTok, if you go to my account, Spray Tan Class, I have a free spray tan training on there. So it's building my email list. So whenever somebody clicks on freespraytantraining.com, they have to put in their email address in order to get the free spray tan training. So that has helped us indirectly, and I'm not too sure exactly how many clients I've actually gotten from that, but that's just an idea if you guys wanted some insight. The secret sauce, and this is actually from my website. So I try to get as many videos on my website that's not going to make it slow. So this is an example. If you guys go to slaythespray.com, which is our event that's happening in September, you'll be able to scroll through, and we actually have 2 to 3 videos on there right now. But I love having video content on there because, again, it makes you stand out from anybody else that's doing this. So if you look at your competitors within your area and say you're just like scoping their website out and checking out maybe if they're on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever the case may be, a lot of the times people aren't using video marketing. And so the way to stand out is usually by creating content like this, video content, so that way you can connect with your clients more, because it is going to be so much more impactful for you to show face, for you to share your story, or for you to actually showcase what you do, as opposed to trying to explain it via text. So I want you guys to be aware too, like next time you guys go to a website, for example, or even on Amazon. I'm dabbling in Amazon right now, so it's interesting to kind of see everybody's different take on like what they put on Amazon. So for example, a lot of self-tanners don't have videos on them, and those ones don't perform as well as the ones who do have videos. So it's really, I think, a great investment. If you're not interested in doing it yourself, at least get somebody to help you, like a videographer. Maybe for a day, you guys create 4 short videos. I typically book one videographer. I pay him about $400 to $600, well, $400 to $700, depending on what we're doing that day. And we do about 4 different short videos, and he edits them, and they're all professionally done. So it looks really good. And then I'm able to use that content for the entire month. All right, so let me look at time, 6:21. Okay, so we're good. 84% of people say they have been convinced to buy a product or service by watching a brand's video. And subconsciously or consciously, you are doing this too. So become aware of like your buying patterns. Why are you purchasing or choosing to purchase from person A rather than person B? A lot of the times that has to do with their marketing, right? So be mindful of that, because it's really interesting to see like sales psychology. And a lot of the times, if we're aware of our own buying patterns, we can actually implement some of those strategies that we know that work for us into our own business. So number 3, what tools to use for your video marketing? I think people here overcomplicate things way too much. First off, your stuff does not have to be perfect. Again, feel free to go to spraytanclasstv.com. It is a hot mess. If you guys look at my old videos, it is not perfect, but I keep those videos on there because I know they perform well. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Every master was a beginner at one point. So you can't expect to be perfect when you've never done it before, or if you're just learning how to do it. The only way that you're going to learn how to do it and perfect it, or at least get as perfect as possible to it, is by actually doing it. So the only thing that I use at this point is this phone. So whenever I use a phone, I just make sure I wipe off the lens, whichever lens I'm using, and this is it. This is my go-to. Unless we have the videographer, then he uses his own equipment, but that's what I use. I used to use a camera, the Sony a5100, which is has like a flip screen, so you can actually see yourself as you're video recording, which I thought was really, really cool and very important when I was creating content through that camera. A free app that I've never heard of anybody using, but I found this through a marketing professional, and I kept this on my phone and I absolutely love it. It's called CapCut. So this is where, say for example, I take a day and I'm batching content. I'm creating reels for Instagram. I'm recording a bunch of stuff. What I do first before I do anything is I go into CapCut and I make the content usually a little bit quicker. So I'll speed it up, or I will do like cool transitions in there, or I'll do some like just some editing. And then from there, I'll take this piece of content and then edit it a little bit more onto Instagram Reels. And then I will also edit it separately on TikTok as well. I love to repurpose content. I don't like to work harder. I like to work smarter. So a lot of the times I will batch out content, and I'm not perfect at this, but when I am good at it, it works so well. I'll batch out content, meaning that I will take an hour, 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours out of my day, say like one Monday a month. And I will create, or I will record us spray tanning models, for example, or anything around the salon. And then the next day I will take time to edit all of that content. So doing that, I think it just helps you get into this mode of, okay, like Monday I have to get the content, I have to record the content. Tuesday, I have to edit the content. And then going forward, once you have that momentum, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And using something like CapCut will allow you to save the video without it having that watermark that says Instagram or TikTok, which is why I do it there first and then edit on both platforms. So I hope that makes sense and isn't like Chinese, because I know that was a lot of information. The software I use on my computer is iMovie, which is free for anybody that has a Mac. And then also Final Cut Pro, which is about a $300 program. I prefer that one, of course, because it has a little bit more capabilities, but the iMovie app is also really, really good. It's fine. Some people ask about microphones and lights and all of that good stuff. So there are a couple of recommendations that I have. And if you guys want to go to kellysmusthaves.com, they're under marketing. So if you go to kellysmusthaves.com, you guys can take a photo of this. It will direct you to my Amazon wish list. And on there, it'll have, you know, the camera that I would recommend on there. Unfortunately, the Sony a5100 wasn't on there, but there's a couple other ones that I put on there that are good as well. I have the tripod on there, my ring light on there. So anything that you're interested in learning more about, you guys can go ahead and go on there. It's all on Amazon. And then finally, if you guys are interested in getting some free background music or just free music for your videos, you can go to No Copyright Music. This is on YouTube actually, so you're able to download music from there. And finally, if you're interested in getting stock videos, so you guys have heard of stock photos, I'm sure, where they have different photos that you can use for free or paid photos, whatever. They also have stock videos. And so if you go to Unsplash, that is a place that you can get some free video content as well. Some of you guys might be thinking, like, what kind of content should I create? Most of you guys, I'm assuming, own a spray tanning salon or you are a mobile service. If you guys can pop up the chat really quick, can you let me know, are you a mobile artist? Do you have your own salon? Are you renting out a room? All right, so we got Heather with mobile, Jessica mobile, Lucy mobile, renting a room, Lex, mobile, have your own studio. Okay, cool. So we have a couple of different types of people. Awesome. Love that. So this will pertain to all of you guys. And there are 5 different pillars that I usually tell people about when it comes to social media marketing in general. And we'll be more specific to video marketing since that's what we're talking about right now. So if you're thinking, what type of content could I create just in general for social media? My question to you is, what are the questions that your clients have? What are your audience? What is your audience asking you via DMs or PMs or even in your email or even via text or even on the phone call or when your clients walk in? What are the questions that they're asking you? So one thing could be like, why do I turn orange? Or how do I avoid turning orange? Or why am I splotchy after a spray tan? Or why are spray tans so, I don't know, cold? Whatever question you get, I would take those questions down, either a mental note or put it in your notes in your phone. Go back to that whenever you guys are ready to batch out your content or think of ideas for your content. And remember what these questions are so you can turn it into content that you're creating. So the first thing I would say is the first pillar we focus on, I should say, is educational content. So a lot of our audience members on Spray Tan Class, for example, on Instagram, they're either wannabe spray tanning artists or they are spray tanning artists. So we position the question based on whatever it is that they're asking us. So that's one way to do it. The second way is entertainment. I know there are a ton of women that offer reels as a way of entertaining people. One person that comes to mind is Sheila Bella. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She was actually a speaker at the last Slay the Spray, and she's one of my good friends. And I just love the way that she is able to entertain people through her video content. So she will take like a trending reel, or she will just have like a funny scenario and she'll bring that humor in. And I'll tell you right now, like, I'm not a funny person. So this kind of, it's a little bit difficult for me to do this. So if you're not funny or you don't consider yourself to be funny, don't worry. You don't have to be like perfect at this, but entertainment can happen in different formats, right? Like it's not just humor. So that's just something to think about. Entertainment too, by the way, it can tie into educational, because I'm thinking like whenever I do a video showing how I contour, people freaking love it. They love it. So that is entertainment in my opinion. And it's also educational because I'm telling people through like the text, for example, as I'm going through the video, what contouring is, what the benefit of contouring is. A lot of the times we think that things are common sense, right? We think like people already know what a spray tan is or how spray tanning works, but a lot of the times that's not the case. So even answering the most basic questions for your clients through your video content is going to be key. Number 3, behind the scenes. So like I said earlier, popping up your tent and showing them your office, bringing them into your world, because nobody that like, if somebody were to come up to you and ask you like what a spray tan is, they probably have no idea that you pop up a tent. A lot of people think that you have like this big ass van that comes to their house and they have to get into the van. Like this is literally words from people that I've heard, like that's their perception of what a spray tan is because they've never gotten it. So take these even like so common questions and convert it into your content. Number 4 is personal stories. So I know some people are like really resistant to this, but I think this is so important because you are so unique. Your story is so different than anybody else's. So in my opinion, and from what I've seen just throughout my own personal brand, people want to connect with you, right? They want to feel safe with you. They want to know, especially for you mobile girls, they want to know who you are before you step into their home. And again, I think this is often overlooked, but I think it's a really, really important piece that is almost a necessity for your business. So if you can take some time out of your day to just do a quick introduction video of who you are, where you're from, why you started in this industry, and what you love about it, I think that's going to be really helpful. Number 5, and the last thing on here is just social proof. So getting video testimonials from clients. This is so good. If you guys go to slaythespray.com, you'll be able to see that we have, I want to say like 6-ish videos of just testimonials of the last event. And I feel like having those videos in addition to text is so, so valuable, but because people need to see that you know what you're doing. All right. So I hope that that has been helpful for you guys. To dive in a little bit deeper, and I'll just go over this really quickly because I know I'm kind of running over time here. If you guys are thinking like, what kind of content can I create for this? And like, where can I put it? Like, where's the best place to put this video content? I did a little bit of just my own experience, like what has worked. So educational content, I usually keep for webinars like this, or doing lives on Facebook groups, or even lives on Instagram. And then IGS is IG stories as well. So if it's a short piece of educational content, I would do it on Instagram stories. For entertainment, I think Reels, I think we can all agree, is like the #1 place. People are scrolling over and over and over again all day long because Reels, I mean, it is entertainment, right? So creating Reels on Instagram and then TikTok as well, and IG stories. Behind the scenes, taking them into your office. I actually did this today in our Beauty Business Babes Facebook group. I took a little tour around our salon and people love to see this. They love it. They're so nosy. I know I'm nosy. Like I want to see everybody's face. I think it's really cool to be able to get into their world, right? So taking somebody behind the scenes, you can really do that anywhere, whether it's Instagram stories, you can do a video on YouTube, you can do a video for your website, Reels, TikTok, you can do that really anywhere. And then telling your personal story. I think for me personally, this has been the most impactful, I would say everywhere, honestly, but the most impact that I feel like it's had is on my website because people are already on my website because they've already found me, right? So now it's about making them trust you. Your clients need to know you. And once they know you, hopefully they like you. And if they like you, they trust you. And so that's the whole goal when it comes to video marketing, is creating that trust between you and the audience member that you have no idea like who's even looking at your stuff, right? So if they're going onto your website and you have a really nice intro video of who you are, what you do, why you're doing it, and all of these things, people are going to really gravitate towards that. So I would say for number 4, my website has been one of the biggest ways and the best ways to really make that connection happen. And also YouTube. And the last, social proof, you can do this honestly anywhere, but I love having this on my website. I feel for us, it hasn't really worked so well on YouTube, but definitely on Instagram and our website. So full transparency. Some of you guys might be thinking like, this sounds great, but I still have all of these fears, right? I still have all of these blocks that are stopping me from moving forward with actually doing this. So from the beginning of my journey doing this, I want to say I started in 2016, maybe. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. This was actually one of my first videos that I ever shot. And this was with a professional videographer. And I will tell you right now, this made it 1,000 times easier because I didn't have to edit anything. I didn't really have to think about anything. All I had to do was spray tan somebody. So he took the shot and we were able to use this for our salon, well, the mobile service that I was offering back then, and then spray tan classes once I started doing that. So I want to be 100% transparent with you and tell you that it does take time. It does take patience. Sometimes it takes a financial investment, and more than anything, it takes practice. So it's not something that I feel like most people are going to get right away. I'm trying to think about like my journey back then in how I was able to do this because when I started doing YouTube videos, I did it me by myself on my floor in my apartment with like, I don't even know what camera, if I just use my phone or the other camera. And it wasn't as nerve-wracking that way. But as soon as I started getting other people involved and people were like videotaping me, I had to have them exit the room because I didn't feel comfortable with them being there. So now I don't have that issue so much, but it's like, you have to get used to it. You have to practice because that's the only way it's going to work for you. And I know a lot of the blocks that you guys mentioned was editing and doing these transitions and making it look so nice and not amateur, but you have to be an amateur and you have to give yourself grace because that's just a part of the process. If you don't do this now, it's just going to take longer and you might never do it, right? So my whole thing is just do it messy, just start now. And what's the worst that could happen? You know, like people don't engage with it. Oh, well, like who cares? I don't even really look at my analytics anymore. I have like my social media manager do all that stuff, but don't get so caught up on like the vanity numbers of how many people actually like this. I can guarantee you that when you start showing face and sharing your story and doing cool things like, you know, showing behind the scenes and stuff like that, you're going to get a lot of people that love what you're doing. And whether they tell you that verbally or via text or DM or not, like you're going to feel that, you know? And so I think it just makes your business so much more interesting rather than having a bunch of text or still photos everywhere. The second thing I will say is it does take courage. You know, it takes a lot of courage to do this. I think of business as both a professional and personal growth experience. And for me, that's exactly what it's been. I can't imagine like speaking in public when I was in my 20s. Not that I was ever like super introverted, you know, but you know, I don't know. It was just one of those things where I had to break through a lot of these doubts and these fears and the unknowns and the looking stupid and the trolls online. Like you have to have a lot of courage and you have to have thick skin because I get a lot of that still. And it's one of those things where you have to stay laser focused on your vision of like the possibility of what can happen for your business when you do involve video marketing on there rather than what could go wrong or all of the negative aspect of it. So I hope that really helps you guys. And if you guys have any specific questions, please reach out to me. And here is my contact information. So you guys can reach me on Spray Tan Class on Instagram or Facebook. We have a Facebook group called Beauty Business Babes, and then my website is spraytanclass.com. So we will open Q&A now. Let me go ahead and stop sharing here. Well, if you guys want to take a photo of that, I don't know. If you guys grab a photo, that might be helpful. Athena says, how often do you do photo shoots? You always have great pics to market your business. So, you know, Athena, that's really funny because I really don't do photo shoots often at all, actually. And I want to say within the last like 2 years, I've probably done for my business 3 professional photo shoots. So what I do is I take a shit ton of photos and then I save them all and then I edit them so they don't look like they're from the same photo shoot, or I'll like erase the background, or I'll change clothes at that one photo shoot. All right, I'm going to stop this. How often do you do photo shoots? Okay, just ask Ellen, how early into your business did you get a videographer for your marketing? So that actually happened right away. And the reason why that happened was because I had a friend who was a videographer and he offered to do it for free. So he only did it once, which was great, but it opened my eyes to seeing like what a professional would do when it came to video marketing. Now I have somebody that I work closely with. I've been working with him consistently for about 2 years now. And before that, I would hire random people, but nobody really got the vision. Like I'm kind of particular when it comes to the way that I want things to show online, especially when it comes to video marketing. And I'm like that now. I wasn't like that in the beginning because I just didn't know any better, right? But I'm like that now. So now I finally found my dream guy to work with, and we've been working together closely for the last 2 years or so. And he'll come in every like couple of months to do videos for us. Lindsay, I'm so glad that you liked it. Mental blocks due to social anxiety are the worst and have held me off from being on my stories. Yes. And so one thing I found very interesting too was when I went live on, say, my beauty business Facebook group or on Instagram, I found the lives to be a lot easier than me recording a video by myself. I don't know if that's like opposite. I think my mind is weird because I'll go skydiving, but I'm really scared of heights, or I'll speak in front of like hundreds of people, and I had social anxiety at some point. So it's like I'm just a weird human. I don't know. But just practice, whatever feels good to you, practice. And maybe start off without an audience. Maybe start off with just like having your phone and you in a room, having like natural light or light coming towards you. And talk about something that you're very familiar with. And I think that's like another thing that I didn't really mention. It's just talk about something that you know so well that you could talk to anybody about, because that's really where you need to be starting. You don't want to like have to look at notes or that's fine if you do have to, but I think having more of like a natural conversation is just so much more authentic, I think. It helps me to pretend like no one sees, but then I overthink it and feel like people are secretly making fun of me. Oh my gosh, Lindsay, I can resonate with this so much, but you know what? I had to, and I talked about this earlier, like having thick skin. Excuse my French, but you have to not give a fuck what anybody thinks. That's probably been one of the most difficult parts of my journey. Like if you guys go to my podcast or look at some of my YouTube videos, like we have trolls everywhere. And you have to be okay with that, because if you allow the possibility of someone talking shit about you to stop you from marketing your business or stop you from living all out, then you're not living in your authenticity, right? So like they're taking that away from you, and that's not fair and that's not right. So I'm all about living all out. And if people don't like me, if I'm not their person, that's totally fine. But I know what I'm doing is working, and it comes in from like the gratitude that I do get from people who do love me, or the numbers that I get in sales, or, just the appreciation and the love and the support that I get overall. So I think that's something that a lot of us can resonate with, but I wouldn't worry too much about the haters, because unhappy people are not going to like you anyway. It doesn't matter if like you're Mother Teresa or the devil himself, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I know Audrey's great, right? Is she still on here?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, cool. How did you get so confident on video? I'm curious.
You know what? Okay, a little bit about like my backstory is I'm from the smallest town up in Washington, and it's crazy to think this, but there's not a lot of small business owners where I'm from, back in this time when I started. There wasn't really like a lot of hairstylists doing anything on social media. There were no lash artists. Like no one was on social media except for me, where I lived. And I just feel like I knew that I had to incorporate myself into my business more. I was like, I need people to know who I am, so that way they trust me. I was spray tanning out of my house, so that they trust to come to my house. So yeah. And then I think I just listened to I guess there weren't podcasts, probably blogs, just reading and researching and knowing that you have to make that human connection somehow. And if you can't do it face to face, you can do it on video. And so I kind of just like picked up my phone one day and was like, let's give this a shot. And then there were no filters, so showing up as like your full self. And I was super awkward, I remember. But it kind of became an addiction. Honestly, it does become an addiction when you start seeing what you get in return. And that's always more bookings. That's people that come into your studio saying, I feel like I know you already. And that's a good thing to hear. So it becomes one of those things where you want to keep doing it because you see such a payback from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's one thing that I didn't even mention on here, but it was 1,000% worth going through all of the struggles that I went through in order to get to where I'm at today, which is a more confident version of myself. Do I still deal with like anxieties? Yes. Do I still deal with like people who don't like me? Yes. And I think that's never going to really fully go away. I think it's always just going to be there. And it just depends on my mood. Because some days like most days I'm totally fine. But when you have a crying baby and like a bunch of things going on and you have a lack of sleep because you have a newborn at home or whatever the case may be, maybe like you're dealing with your own shit at home. It's hard to show up sometimes, but in those moments, again, give yourself grace because you're human and it's okay. You just have to get back up.
Yeah. No, I agree. I loved this call, by the way. Let me say, I always write a blog post like for the Glow Gang group after just kind of like notes. I have like 3 pages of detailed notes. You did say one thing that really, really stuck out to me. And I feel like I've heard it somewhere before, but hearing it again is just like, it's so much stronger, but your vision is stronger than your fear. I love that. And it's so true. And it really resonates with me even now. Like your vision really is stronger than any fears that you have. If you want something, you have to go out and get it. Otherwise you're just going to stay where you're at. So you can't let your fears get in the way. And I really liked that. Yeah, there was so much good info here. I loved it.
Yeah.
And
I hope it's been helpful for everybody. So if you guys have like any questions, even like tomorrow, next week, if you're trying something and you still just like want some advice, or if you want me to critique like a reel that you have, I'm happy to do that. Just here, I'll put my personal DMs in here because I have a couple people who helped me with the spray tan class one and the X-Tan Sunless one. So if you want to reach me directly at @IAM_Kellyann is the best way to do that on Instagram.
Okay. That was great. Yeah. Reach out to her, you guys. She's great. As you can tell, busy, but great. Also, I did want to come on the other day. Someone posted, I cannot remember for the life of me who it was, but someone posted in the Glow Gang group asking if there are any spray tan conventions. I'm just doing air quotes for that because I don't want to call Slay the Spray a convention. I don't know I would say it's like a community gathering. I have never been, but it looks like a lot of fun. And I actually have a goal of going this year. So I'll let you talk a little bit more about it. But if you love the community aspect of our industry, I think that Kelly has honestly brought it together so perfectly. And I've heard great things. So I'll let her talk about it. I know it's in April, but I'm going to try to go.
Yeah, it's actually in September, so you have some time.
Why I said April.
Okay. I thought today was like Friday for some reason, so it's all good. Story of my life. Okay, so Slay the Spray. The vision for this as a bigger event was to bring in some of like my spice and some of really fun, like think about Tony Robbins. Have any of you guys been to Tony Robbins at all? Any Tony Robbins events or any similar events to Tony Robbins where he has like lights and dancing and just high vibes, like really, really good energy. I've been to a couple of his events, 3 to be exact, like all over the world. I used to stalk him and not so much anymore since 2022 or 2020, but I wanted to bring that into an educational space where we have like 3 days together with other Sunless artists. The vision for this was, it happened in 2019. And actually the first bigger event that I held was called Wake Up to Level Up. And it came from like a really, really tough time in my life where I was like, I need to see people, I need connection, I need love, I need inspiration, I need to like light a fire under everybody's ass. So like my ass can get on fire too, you know? And so it was one of these things where I was like, you know, inspiring and like marketing and all of these things. So when I went to the ASTP Sunless Summit, I spoke at 2 of the years that they had this event, and I've sponsored for 2 years as well. And I really loved what Shauna did. I never wanted to step on her toes. So I was like, I'm not going to do a, you know, big Sunless event because I just didn't want to be in competition with Shauna. I love her. I think she's great. But when she sold the business, I actually reached out to the ASTP owner and I was like, hey, are you going to be doing anything like a big convention this year? And she said she wasn't. So I was like, you know what, let's do Slay the Spray. So Slay the Spray is a 3-day event where we have our beginners and masters course happening on Friday day. And then at night, we're going to have a really nice beach party. It's like a beach cocktail hour. It's all white attire, and we're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I've never been there, but something told me to like check out this space, and we finally locked in the venue at the Marriott Fort Lauderdale Harbor Resort and Spa, which is like absolutely beautiful. And so the next day, all day on Saturday, we're going to have a multitude of speakers who are in the sunless industry, and they're going to be speaking about specific technical aspects of the sunless industry. So whether that's contouring, bridal tanning is what we had last year. We had competition tanning. So I don't have all of the details of that particular day yet, but probably within the next month, we should have all the topics dialed in. And then the next day is all about business growth. So this day is probably my favorite because we really talk about like social media marketing, how to go in from like the back end of your business, how to hire people. We had a lawyer help us like last year, for example, like going into the nitty gritty of becoming an actual business owner and how to make money. The whole goal and the whole concept of this event is for sunless artists to step into their power, to be able to have the tools that they need in order to make 5 to 6 figures and more consistently. So every single speaker and sponsor that's a part of this event is pretty like it's well thought out, and it's very, very particular. So I never used to be a perfectionist, but I feel like with stuff like this, like I want things to be so freaking perfect. But if I could describe it in one way, it'd be like Tony Robbins meets the ASTP Sunless Summit. That's what it would be. So I hope that helps. Oh, yeah, I'm so excited to see people go, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds so fun. And I just wanted to say, when I was a flight attendant, we used to stay at that Marriott in Fort Lauderdale. So I've been there actually quite a few times. And when I saw you were doing it there, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go. It would be so fun. Just like get dinner and just like be around good energy and good people. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It's pretty interesting because like some of the girls who went, you know, they talked to me afterwards. They're like, I've never been to like a beauty anything like this before, and I freaking love it because, you know, we had like lights, we had confetti, we had DJs like throughout the entire time, and it's just so much fun, but you're also learning so much. So you know, one of the things that comes out for me is like going to live events, right, is a game changer in anyone's business because you never know what doors are going to open. That's how I started Obsidian Sunless. Like my first product line was going to a convention and meeting people that allowed that door to open for me. And then also speaking at the ASTP Sunless Summit. Like when Shauna asked me to speak, I didn't even think about it. I just said yes, because I knew that if I thought about it, I would have said no, because I was so fucking fearful of like speaking in front of people. But that experience in itself allowed me to grow my business exponentially, because I don't know where I would be without ASTP. So I love Shauna, I love the ASTP, and I'll always support them 100%.
Yeah, and I love that you're just putting a spotlight like on our industry. You know, there's so many beauty conventions, there's so many ones for hair and all in aesthetics, but this is just strictly spray tanning. So I'm excited. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so Jennifer has a question. She said, is Slay the Spray more educational for spray tan artists or more of a social thing? It is absolutely based on education first, and entertainment is intertwined into that. But it's not the focus. It's more of an educational type of event.
Okay, are there any more questions here? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, just pictures of the venue. Okay, yeah. Is there anything else, Kelly, that you want to add on? Okay, you have another question here.
Yeah. So Lena, how will the education be different from last year? I don't have all of the topics dialed in at this point, but I do want to make it different than last year because we had a lot of people sign up last year at the event for 2022. So at the end of the event, I was like, if you guys buy a ticket to 2022, right now you get a discount. So we had a ton of people buy. And the last thing I want to do is create like the same event or a similar event to what it was last year. So we're going to have different speakers, different topics. I just don't know what that's going to look like yet because we're in the beginning stages of locking in our speakers and all of that stuff. So if you guys want to learn more about the actual event itself, you can go to slaythespray.com. And actually, Audrey, I created a discount for you guys. So don't announce this publicly, but this is only for you guys who are here. It's Glow Gang. If you guys use that, you guys get a 5% discount off of the tickets at slaythespray.com.
Sorry, I was muted. I said, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that helps.
Yep, I hope to see a lot of you there. It'd be so fun to see my Glow Gang girls in person. I'm always getting asked, we should do a Glow Gang meetup. And I'm like, I'm not an event planner. I can't. Like, I will go with everyone.
It is the hardest thing that I've done out of everything that I've done. It's takes a lot of patience and a lot of time and money and energy, and it's a lot, but it's so worth it. So I love hosting events, and I'm hoping that it'll happen every year, but it is a lot to handle. So I don't know if it'll be a forever thing, but at least right now it's really fun to do. So I'm excited to host.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, okay. What time is it? Let's see. Oh, it's 7. Okay, perfect. We took up an hour. You came on with really good info. It looks like this actually did record, which I'm super excited about because I know there are a lot of people that wanted to see it. But yeah, thank you for coming on tonight. And it was good to see all of you.
Yeah, thank you guys. And thank you, Audrey, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right. Bye, you guys. Good night.